So I guess okay. I guess all of you can hear me. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Right. Good evening once again. So can anyone tell me what we have studied till now in heat? Good evening, Jia. Can anyone tell me what we have studied till now in heat?
Conduction, convection, and radiation.
Okay, so that is in transfer. That is in heat transfer, right? So I can say till now we have studied three main topics, right? The first topic is introduction. The first topic was introduction, right? So what we covered in that, we covered about, tell me, what is
heat?
what is
What
temperature?
is kinetic energy?
Yes, conversion of, yes, units, conversion of units, right? Then we talked about calorimetry,
Calorimetry.
yes, and calorimetry is based on, tell me.
So heat transfer.
uh, Actually, yeah, you can say it is based on conservation of energy, conservation of energy, like heat gain is equal to heat lost, right? So whenever we talk about this heat change, okay, how many type of heat change is there? Tell me. Two. Yes, exactly. First is due to
Temperature change.
correct change in temperature, and second is due to
Phase transfer.
Phase change.
correct phase transformation.
Change.
Yes. What is the formula of change in energy or heat energy due to change in temperature?
MS delta T.
Sir, MS delta T.
Correct, Sandhya. Correct number. MS delta T. Yes, right. MS delta T. What is S here?
Specific heat.
Heat.
Correct. Specific heat capacity. Yes, very good. And what is the second formula due to change in phase? Tell me. Due to change in phase, what is the formula of heat change?
Sir, ML. Sir, ML.
ML, correct, right? M into L, where L is called as?
Latent heat.
Yes, latent heat, right? Okay, right? Okay. So this was the second topic. The third topic was heat transfer, right? How heat is transferred from one body to other body. Calorimetry was how much heat is transferred, right? What is the amount of heat energy transferred? But heat transfer is how the heat is transferred. So when we talk about how, we talk about type of material, yes or no, right? When we talk about solids, or basically when we talk about material, right? There are basically two type of material, yes or no, right? Right? Yes, Vihan? Yes. Conductor and insulator, right? Conductor and insulator, So I can say conductors are the materials which will, tell me, conduct heat, right? In which heat transfer will take place. And insulators are materials in which heat transfer will not take place. Agree? Right? Okay. Then we talk about how this energy is, right, transferred. So we have discussed, right? We have discussed that when you talk about conductors, the process is called as conduction, right? What happens when you heat up any substance, right? The nearby molecules, tell me, the nearby molecules gain energy and they start vibrating. Yes or no? Right? They start vibrating, and because of that, right, they pass on the energy, they pass on the energy, right, to the neighboring atoms, right? So in conduction, okay, I can say that in conduction, the atom, right, itself doesn't move, but it passes on the energy, right, by vibration. Okay, right? But when you talk about fluids, when you talk about fluids, especially liquids and gases, right? The the atoms or the molecules, they itself, right, and gain energy, then they move, right? And we know that when we talk about lighter fluids are less dense, so they rises up, and tell me, the colder fluids are heavier, so they comes down, right? And this is the, yes, this is the, tell me, reason for sea breeze and land breeze, right? We discussed sea breeze and land breeze too, then there's a third type of heat transfer, which is called as, tell me,
Radiation.
radiation, correct, right? So radiation, yes. So in radiation, when you talk about this conduction and convection, right? The particle is required, substance is required. But when about radiation, right? No particle is required for transfer. Yes or no? Why is it so? Tell me. Because heat transfer takes place due to electromagnetic waves. Yes or no? Anna, right? Everyone remember that? It is due to electromagnetic waves. And electromagnetic waves do not require any medium. Okay? Right? So all of you understood till this point? Yes? Okay. Now, right. So there's one small concept, right? It is based on observation. Okay, think about it. And the concept itself is called as black body radiation. Okay, but we will be discussing very simple concepts. We will not be discussing this whole concept of black body radiation. Okay, right? We will not even hear this term. Now,
Sir, did you send the last physics class video and website, sir?
yes.
Okay, sir, I will check.
Website I still have to add, I guess. I will upload, right? So the third was radiation. Radiation in which no particle was required. Right? It is due to electromagnetic waves. Right? Especially when you talk about heat, sunlight, right? So obviously light is also electromagnetic wave, right? But the which electromagnetic wave, right, make us feel hot? So that is your infrared. Okay, infrared waves. Okay, right? The specific kind of waves which makes us feel hot is infrared waves. Clear here, right? Okay. And what are the other waves? Anyone tell me? I guess all of you know.
Ultraviolet rays.
Yes, ultraviolet, right? Correct. Okay. So now let us think. Let me observe this. How many of you were asked, right, not to wear black clothes during summer season? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Sir, this is because
Yes,
the
sir.
black color attracts sunlight.
Yes,
White
right?
color, white
Sir,
color
black
reflect.
color.
And sir, white will reflect.
Correct. Okay, correct, right? So why? Because ये सुना होगा ना, black color absorb कर लेता है. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
हाँ sir.
Yes, sir.
So I can say, sir, this is like the property of black color itself, right? Now, okay, let us think. Why is it? Okay, right? Electromagnetic waves is basically, we will discuss, right? This is again whole different topic, right? You just imagine that it is a kind of a disturbance or a medium to transfer energy, right? Like that, okay? And that energy is electrical and magnetic in nature. That's why it is called as electromagnetic. Okay, Tanushree? So yeah, now whenever we talk about substance, right, this is the experiment that we have. So we have one shiny metal, one dull metal, one totally black dull metal, right, and one shiny black. Okay, this is dull black. Okay, the color is, again, the color is a bit like confusing, but this is shiny black and this is dull black. Okay, right? Okay, so which of them, suppose it is, right, suppose this, in this warm water is there, right? Remember this concept, right? Do not read it. First of all, warm water is there. It is warm water is inside. Water is inside the container, right?
Sir, your voice is breaking.
Yes, sir, your voice is
Warm
breaking.
water is inside
Sir, your
this
voice
container.
is breaking.
Sir, your voice is cracking.
Sir, your voice is cracking, so nothing is audible. No, sir, not audible.
Sir, cracking, sir.
It's cracking a lot, sir.
Your voice is cracking a lot.
Sir, I think you are having net issues.
Okay, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? Because of my internet, I guess my internet was bad, right? That's right. Okay. Yeah. So think logically, right? Before thinking about the answer, right? Before me telling you the answer, think logically. What do you think? Which of the container will be hottest? Socho ek baar.
Or dull black.
Sir, dull black.
Shiny one, right? Dull metal, dull black, or shiny black?
Sir, dull black. Dull black.
Dull black. Okay. Dull black. Okay. Anyone else? Everyone is saying dull black.
Sir, shiny black.
Sir. Sir, shiny. Sir, dull
Okay.
black.
Sir, shiny metal.
Black.
Now
Dull
think
black.
about it,
Shiny
right?
iron is dull black, dull black.
I asked you one question, right? I asked you one question. What question I asked? That why?
Sir, black
Why?
cloths.
Yes. Why? Tell me. Because they absorb heat. Yes or no? है ना? Right? They absorb heat, right? That is the reason, na? Now think about it. If they absorb heat, right? ठीक है. So I can say that if they absorb heat, they will not radiate heat, or they will radiate heat. Tell me.
Sir, which will hold the warmest water, sir?
So if they are good absorbent, right, they're good emitter also. Can I say this? Can I say this? That if they're good absorber, they're good emitter also.
Yes, sir.
Think about it. Think about it. Yes or no? I don't know, right? I'm just asking. I'm just confusing you guys. Tell me. Yes, that's why, Vihan, I'm not saying this is not the answer. I'm just confusing you, right? Anna, I'm just asking you that is right dull black, right? If dull black, you are saying dull black it is good absorber, right? Anna, right? Okay, so is the opposite true? Is the opposite true? Right? Will they be good emitter also?
Yes, sir, true.
True? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is the thing you should remember, right? Because this is something which makes us confused like anything. Okay, right? When you talk about the concept of black body, and a black body, okay, right? Black body is just a term given to a substance which absorbs all the heat. Okay, right? Which absorbs all the heat and it emits all the heat. Clear, right? So that is the technical term given to the black body, right? समझ में आ रहा है ये चीज? Okay, and honestly, there's no perfect black body, right? There's not. We talk about ideal black body because obviously there's nobody which will, right? No object which will perfectly absorb all the energy, all the radiation, and emits all the radiation. Okay, right? So when you talk about this, in this heat source is kept inside the container or outside the container? Tell me, the source of energy, source of heat is kept inside the container or outside the container?
Inside. Sir, it will come from outside. Inside.
Question देखो, filled with warm water, right? Filled with warm water, है ना? Think about it, yes or no? So the source of heat is inside the container. That's the key point. Yes or no?
Yes, sir, I didn't read the question.
ठीक है. Okay, got it now, Vihan? Right? So here we will talk about absorption or emission. Tell me. Here we will talk about absorption or emission. Tell me. Absorb करने की बात करेंगे, हम emit करने की बात करेंगे. Because the source of heat is emission.
Sir, we will talk about emit.
Right, emit or reflect, है ना? Right? ठीक है? चलो. Yes. So I can say that, sir, we know that shiny surface, due to shiny surface, right? है ना? Okay. Tell me. Think about it. Shiny surface will reflect, right, the heat back, right? है ना? Back to the container. Yes or no? Right? Think about it. So it will not let the heat escape. Makes sense because there's not good emitter. Emitter मतलब see, emitter मतलब क्या होता है? Release करना है ना, बाहर release करना, right? Okay. Just say, think about it. How many of you have seen the hose pipe or the sprinkler? Right? So emit is just an English word, hai na? So I can say that this sprinkler emits water, yes or no, right? Okay. Okay, so this is the English word. Okay, Tamishri, got it? Right? Okay. Okay, so think about it. Think about it. Suppose the water is inside this. Suppose the water is inside this, right? Here, the water is inside this. And because it's tiny surface, right? The heat is reflected. And the heat is reflected back because the shiny surface is not a good emitter, not good emitter. Right? So heat will be inside the container, yes or no? Heat will be inside the container. Makes sense?
Yes,
Agree?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but when you talk about dull black, है ना? Right? Since it is a good emitter, it will emit heat outside. Yes or no? Makes
Yes, sir.
sense? Makes sense? सबको समझ में आ रहा है? Right? Okay. Now, if the container will lose heat, temperature क्या होगा? It will decrease or increase?
Decrease.
Sir, decrease.
Decrease, right? So obviously, I can
Yes,
say
sir,
the
it will
water in
decrease.
dull black container will be less as compared to water in shiny metal. Yes or no? Got this? All of you got this concept?
Yes, sir, got it.
Okay, right. So I can say that. So this is what it is written. Huh? This is written. Everything is written, and I've already uploaded this also. Okay, right? So I guess all of you understood this. Okay. Now let me ask you another question. Suppose, let me ask you another question. Suppose heat sources kept outside. Smudge heat sources kept outside. Okay. Like suppose they are kept near a chimney, right, or near a stove. They are kept near a stove, right? Think about it. They are kept near stove, है ना?
Sir,
Right?
campfire.
What?
Campfire.
Campfire, right? Now tell me which of them will have the highest temperature? Tell me.
Sir, can you repeat
Sir,
your
black.
question, sir?
Sir, dull black.
Sir, can you repeat your
Everyone?
Sir, dull black.
Dull black, okay. Anyone
Sir, can
else?
you repeat your
Dull
question?
black, sir. Sir, shiny metal.
Shiny metal, okay. Let us see.
Shiny
Right?
metal.
Can you just
Uh,
repeat your question, sir, please?
My question is this. My question is this. 4 containers, now they are placed equidistant from a heater. And now the
Sir, the
source of
shiny
energy.
metal will reflect, then how it will be warm.
Okay, very good. है ना? So I can say that now the heat source is outside or inside.
Outside.
Sir, outside.
Outside.
So the phenomena of reflection will take place or absorption, right? Here, right?
Absorption.
And
So,
now,
sir, dull black will be most hottest.
okay. Now, so I can say, right? I hope all of you understood. So let us see which will be warmest. Dull black, है ना? Very good. All of you understood the concept, right? The dull black will be warmest, है ना? Because it will absorb, right, the best. Clear हो गया? सबको concept समझ में आ गया?
हाँ, sir.
Right?
हाँ,
So I
sir.
hope good. है ना? So this whole phenomena is called as black body radiation. Simple way में. Okay? Okay? Right? ठीक है? Like obviously black body radiation is way too conceptual. This is just like the very basic, ठीक है? Tip of the concept, right? Okay. I guess all of you know this, now. Why does hot air rises and cold air sink? We have already discussed this now. Yes or no? Right? So these kind of questions might come in your exam. Hai na? Why does hot air rises and cold air sinks? Right? Why the boiler is placed beneath the hot water tank? Right? Hai na? Right? So all of you can answer this. Just go through it. Hai na? Okay. Right? Now, why are houses painted white in hot countries? Tell me. Let's just discuss this. Hai na?
Sir, because paint reflects the heat, sir.
And it
Because-
keep cool.
Yes, because it will not
Sir,
absorb,
and in our ceilings also, sir, it is white because it
It will not absorb the heat.
right? है ना? Because it reflects heat radiation and keeps the house cooler, है ना? Right?
Sir, our
Okay,
ceiling
why
mostly
shiny?
is in white color.
Okay, now think about it. When we ask this question, right? Have you ever seen this in your home? Tell me the application of this concept.
Why shiny foil blankets wrapped around my room?
Not blanket and
Our
all, right?
building is skin color.
No, no. Ha- All of you, right? Take your lunch boxes to your school. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes,
Some
sir.
of
Sir, so
so
that
some
the heat is inside, it only, sir. It doesn't
times
escape.
sometimes your mom, right, unless until your lunch box is thermal flask, right? Okay, sometimes your mom wrap your food in aluminium foil. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right? Yes or no? Have you
Yes,
observed?
sir.
Now even the aluminium foil is a good conductor of heat, still it keeps, tell me, your food warm. Yes or no? है ना? Okay, now one more thing that you might have observed when you go to this any like small vendor, right? For example, your dosa wala, 99 dosa wala, है ना? Right? Or some place, okay? So they give packets, and that packet is also silvery. Yes or no? Shiny packets, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Have you observed? See how physics is around us, right? If we observe, we know the answer. है ना? So I guess all of you know why the color, why it is silvery, because it traps heat inside and keeps the food cooler for a long period of time. Okay, right?
The hotter, sir, not cooler.
Sorry, hotter. My bad, my bad, my bad. Right, chalo. It is just that how many of you are listening to me clearly? Okay, okay, right? So this is, I guess all of you can answer these simple questions. Which of these following is not the method of heat transfer?
Insulation.
Right, insulation, hai na? Correct.
Sir, don't show.
Which of the, the answer is already given, right? So
Sir,
actually
don't
it was,
show option only, sir.
Just close together.
Sir, don't show option, sir.
again, if I don't show the option, then how you will get to know, right? Anyways,
Sir,
you
we
already know
will
these things.
tell without option. We will try.
How does heat energy reaches from Earth to Sun? Okay, this you can
How
say.
does heat
Sir, through vacuum.
vacuum from vacuum?
Radiation, correct. Radiation, no? Right?
Radiation.
Yes. And that is the process that we discussed. Radiation is a process in which the heat is, tell me, transferred
But
without
sun
any
to
particle.
what? Or
Yes. So which is the best surface for reflecting heat
Shiny,
radiation?
shiny,
shiny.
shiny, surface. Shiny
Correct.
surface.
Slowly, sir.
Tiny white. No. Okay, last question. Which is the best surface for absorbing heat radiation?
Sir, dull black.
Dull black.
Dull black.
Dull black.
Very good, right? So according to your syllabus, the chapter is finished. Okay, right? But so this is only one topic. There's a one last topic, right? That is called as, so I guess till now we have understood the basic idea of heat transfer, right? And calorimetry. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So the last topic. Now think about it. How many of you have observed, right? Or not observed, actually watched a movie, right? Okay. Or any video in which if you heat something, it will expand.
Yes, sir. It is in
Yes,
our.
sir.
Ma'am,
Sir,
sir,
I
it
have,
is in a solid, sir.
Observe
It
this.
sir,
expands.
I have listened of facts, sir. In summer, the Eiffel Tower increase inches.
Yes, and if you have observed the railway track, how many of you have seen the railway tracks?
Sir, there are
Right.
gaps
I've
between
seen.
it, sir, so that the when the railway does expand, it should not cause any problem.
Yes,
I
so
have
when you
read
talk
that
about
if
railway
we heat
tracks,
it the metal, it becomes bendable. I didn't
exactly, right? Very good, है ना? So when you see the railway tracks, right, between two track, between two consecutive tracks, there's a small hole, small space is given, not hole, there's a small space given, right? है ना? Okay, what do you think? Why is it so? Tell me, why is it so?
So
Due
that
to expansion of the metal.
As it expands.
Exactly. So
when
there's
it
one thing
expands, it should not cause a problem.
right? है ना? So there's one more topic which I can say, right, is caused by heat, which is expansion. Yes or no? Right? And it is called a thermal expansion. है ना? Now think about it. Think about it. As I told you, that when you heat something, what happens? The particles start moving. Hi, Anna.
Yes.
Right? Okay, particle will start moving. Now, even the particle will start moving, obviously, sometimes, right, what happens if you heat for long period of time, they, tell me, think about it, they will vibrate over a larger distance. Yes or no? Hi, Anna. Logically, socho. Think about it. They will vibrate to a larger distance. Agree? Tell me. Agree? Hi, Anna. So if they will vibrate to a larger distance, don't you think that they will occupy or they will like occupy more length or more volume or more area?
Sir,
Like
they
I'm
will
just
occupy more
talking
area.
about, right, in lame sense, है ना? Right? Okay. So if I ask, if I tell you, right, sir. Okay. Sorry, I stopped. Yes. Suppose I'm having this railroad, है ना? This railroad. Okay. Right? And this is at temperature, suppose 25 degrees centigrade, 25 degrees centigrade, right? And now, do you really think that if I increase the temperature to suppose like 200 degrees centigrade, right? The
So it
temperature will
will
be
be
same or
reduced.
it will be like the temperature will remain same or it will increase?
Sir, can you repeat your question, sir?
Question is, if I'm having a iron rod, right, having some length, suppose the length is 2 meter, and right? So if I increase the temperature of this rod to 200 degrees centigrade, right? What you observe
It will
will,
expand.
Sir, it will
right?
expand.
It
Expand.
will, right? Very good. And so all of you, right? All of you can relate or think that so it will expand. How much I don't know, right? Obviously, but right, it will expand. है ना? ठीक है? Yes.
Sir, a
So,
little bit only it will expand.
yeah, right. Obviously, little bit. How much I don't, right? We will have a formula for that I will tell you. Wait, guys, my this got disconnected.
What, sir?
I got disconnected. Wait, just give me a minute.
Sir, you are
Our
speaking.
co-host got disconnected.
My laptop got disconnected.
Sir,
Okay, chalo. So I can say, suppose this length is L1, this length is L1, and this length is L2, right? So if obviously, and this temperature is T1, and this temperature is T2. So here T2 is greater than T1, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
What about L2? L2 will be greater than L1, yes or no?
Sir, what is the measurement of L2, sir?
Again, right? I don't know, right? We will have a formula for that, but at least it is the concept, and this concept we understood, right?
Sir, L2 is also part of second rod only.
L2 is the length of second rod. Na?
So
L1 is the length of
that
first rod, which is 2 meter.
sir,
Okay?
to whom should we message, sir? First or
Message to Message to host. Message to host.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
L2 will be longer than L1.
Sir, because
Now
as many hot it will be.
suppose I take temperature at 350 degrees centigrade. Suppose I take T3 at 350 degrees centigrade, right? The length will become L3. So what can I say? In which case,
Sir, where is L3, sir?
Sir, your mouse is at
Huh.
unclear.
Yes, sir, L3 is not visible.
I have not drawn this. Okay, guys, my internet is disconnected. Again, I don't know why. It is very annoying.
Sir, use national service.
Anyone else who's using a BSNL fiber net?
Sir, I am using, sir.
Sir, I am
I stay in Vivinagar.
Is it fine for you?
Sir, morning it went a little. Now it's fine.
Yes, sir. At evening, 4 o'clock, it went for me Wi-Fi.
I don't know. It is not getting connected, right? I'm not getting connected with my tab. Okay. And here also it is getting. Okay. Anyways. So I did not draw the L3, right? I did
Sir,
not draw
how
L3.
is host connected, sir?
Host again, right? I'm using my mobile network as well as this Wi-Fi. Okay. So here, right? Now think about it. Think about it. In this case, I can say that L3 is greater than L2. Agree? Yes, or no?
Yes,
Right?
sir.
L1. Okay. So I can say this. Sir, this length, change in length, right? What is the meaning of change in length? Tell me. Change in length is equal to what? Final minus initial, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Agree? अब चलो सबको पता है ना final minus initial, right? But I will just write LF minus LI, है ना? L final minus L initial, right? Agree? And I represent as delta L. Delta L. Delta मतलब क्या होता है? Tell me. What is the meaning of delta?
Change.
Sir, change in.
Change.
Very good. Now, tell me, this change depends on what all the factors? Tell me, this change depends on which
Sir,
factor?
Sir, video screen.
Screen got hang, sir.
Yeah, my video is hanged. I know, right? What to
Sir,
do?
now it
It is
is
very, very slow. It is very slow. My internet is very, very slow.
Hello,
We
sir.
just have, yeah, now it is visible, right? So I'm saying this delta L, है ना? So this delta L, right? So I can see this change in length, right? Will depend on what? Tell me. What do you think?
Temperature.
L final minus L initial.
Correct. No, this is the meaning of L, delta L. Na? It will depend on change in temperature. Yes or no? Tell me. Yes or no? LF means
Yes,
final temperature. No, sorry, final length, right? LF is final length.
Yes.
Think about it. Final length. And Li is initial length. है ना? So don't you think that yes, Vihan, it is a real life only, right? It can happen. है ना? It can happen, right? Okay, I will give you, don't
Sir,
worry.
it can
Sir
happen,
was
but
playing story then.
200 degrees Celsius.
Okay, so this you understood that this change, right? This change in length, okay, right, will depend on changing temperature. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Anyone have any doubt in this? Tell me. Yes, सबको समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes.
Everyone. Okay. Now, tell me this. If you take steel rod, if you take aluminum rod, if you take copper rod, all of them will expand to the same degree?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Makes sense, na? Right? Obviously, they're different materials. है ना? Right? That you understood? Right? I guess all of you get this idea that Sir, all of these, right? When you talk about aluminium, copper, right, steel, iron, right? They are different materials, है ना? Different, right,
They are
materials.
made up of different types of atoms and different types of quantities.
Okay. So obviously the expansion will be different for all them. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes,
So there
sir.
must be something. Yes, there must be some parameter, something which should be depending on, tell me, material. Yes or no? Agree? Tell me. Right? Yes. So I can say there's a second thing which is called as alpha. Right? This is alpha. Alpha, you know what is the meaning of alpha? This is alpha, Greek alphabet, right? This is called as coefficient of expansion. कोएफिशिएंट मतलब पता है ना क्या होता है? इट्स अ कांस्टेंट टर्म, राइट? कोएफिशिएंट मतलब जैसे देखो यहाँ पे 4x लिखते हैं ना, तो ये 4 क्या आता है? कोएफिशिएंट होता है x का. एग्री? राइट? दैट इज अ नाइस डीप निहान. हॉट व्हील्स.
Sir, क्या sir?
No. How many of you like know Hot Wheels? I guess most of you might know Hot Wheels, right?
Sir, I
Sir,
have 50,
not
sir.
sir.
My favorite, sir. I have 50.
50. Wow, that's a good collection you
48,
have.
sir.
Sir, I have two.
ठीक है. चलो. So
Yeah, full
alpha is
bucket,
basically a coefficient, है ना? Alpha is a constant, right? Alpha is a constant, right? And it depends on what? Tell me. Depends on what? अभी मैंने बोला material, yes or
Sir,
no?
change in temperature.
No, अरे अल्फा की मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, right?
Sir,
अल्फा कितना करता है?
कोई सर
अल्फा का नाम है.
कोई
दिस इज द नेम. अल्फा का मतलब, अल्फा जो है वो नाम जो है ना, उसको बोलते क्या है? दैट इज अ कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ एक्सपेंशन. डिपेंड किस पे करता है? डिपेंड्स ऑन मटेरियल, राइट? है ना? गॉट इट? थिंक अबाउट इट. रेज योर हैंड. टिल all of you got this? No, Vihan, not getting. Priya, you are getting.
Sir, can
Getting,
explain
okay.
alpha again?
Alpha, see, think about it. As I told you that all materials, right, different materials, right, will expand differently. Yes or no? Even if the temperature is same, right, the change in temperature is same, iron will expand to some extent, right? Aluminium will expand to other extent, right? And the change in length will be different, right? And it depends
Sir,
on material.
sometimes it is like, sir, if we use the same metals, sir, like iron, and one is rusted one and one is like newly, then also it will be difference in expansion, no, sir.
Again, right, that's a different thing, है ना? It might be different, but it will be very, like, the difference is very small, right? So we will consider it almost same because both will be iron only. ठीक है? Right? Okay, chalo. So this alpha is coefficient of expansion. It depends on material. ठीक है? Okay, now last thing, think about it. Last thing, if you take 1 meter rod, okay, think about it, be very like logical. If you take 1 meter rod, right, and same rod, 1 meter iron rod, and then you take 5 meter iron rod, do you think the change in length will be same in for both?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Can you repeat your question, sir? 1 meter of iron rod and
1 meter of iron rod, and second case 5 meter of iron rod, है ना? In
Yeah.
which case it will be more? Tell me, in which case it will be more?
5
5
meters.
meter of
5
iron
meter
rod.
rod case number 2.
Sir,
Right.
if we
More
want
only,
the,
after
1
that
meter
it
one
will
to
become
grow,
more.
then the temperature should be more.
Okay, no, not the temperature is same, material is same, है ना? So I can say this is what initial length. So yes or no? Agree. Initial length, no, because I'm talking about initial length. It is 1 meter or 5 meter, right? So anyone have any doubt in this? These three, raise your hand. No.
Can you
So
say
shall I write everything? So I can prepare delta L. If you write all the things, it will become what? L initial into alpha delta T. Yes or no? Right? Because it depends on delta T, change in temperature, it depends on alpha, it depends on L1. Okay. Anyone have any doubt till this point? Raise your hand. Anyone have any doubt till this point?
No, sir.
No?
हाँ सर.
What is initial? Initial मतलब जो पहले क्या था? Initial मतलब, right? The
Starting.
temperature. Example, right? अगर T1 पे L1 temperature था और T2 पे L2 temperature हो गया. So what is initial temperature? Tell me.
Sir, T1 and L1.
Yes. So suppose this is this, right? I'm just giving you an example, right? L1 is 1 meter. है ना? So this is T1, which is initial temperature, right? And L1 is initial length. है ना? Okay. Yes, Jia, don't worry. I will give example. Don't worry, right? है ना? This symbol is called as alpha. The symbol is like A only, but bit like this fancy term of alpha, right?
Sir, can you
है
say
ना? You might have heard
again?
this alpha variant of coronavirus, alpha variant, beta variant, delta variant. So this is alpha. This is a Greek
Can you
alphabet,
say
right?
initial length once more?
Again, this is example. This is an example, right, of initial length one. It can be anything. Now, just think about it. What is delta L? I told you delta L is L final minus L initial. Yes or no? Hi, Anna. Right, Vihan, Priya, Tanushree, Sinchana, Shreya, Kartikeya,
Yes, sir.
Karsh, Bindu, Sandhya,
Yes, sir.
Anya. Okay,
sir. Yes, sir.
chalo. Very good. This is equal to what? L initial alpha delta T. क्वेश्चन भी दिया रहेगा ना तनुश्री, जैसे यहाँ पे देखो अगर T1 है 25 and T2 है 200, so what is delta T? Tell me. चेंज कितना हो जाएगा उसके साथ बताओ. Tell me. It is 200 minus 25 ना. हाँ है ना. Right? We have already like covered this in calorimetry. What is the meaning of delta T? 175. Very good. Very good, Vihan. So now, see, if you are getting confused, then I will write L2 L1. Okay, I'll just write L2 L1. L2 minus L1 is equal to L1 alpha delta T. Okay? Clear है? Is it fine? LF LI की जगह L2 L1 लिखूं चलेगा?
Sir, write that delta T
हाँ,
as
sir.
T1 minus T2.
Wait. So if I can write like this, L2 is equal to L1 because this will go this side plus L1 alpha delta T. Yes or no? Now tell me, can you take anything common from these two?
L1.
L1.
sir.
L1,
good.
L1, sir.
Equal to
So it will be what? 1
L1
plus
square.
alpha delta T. Yes or no?
Sir, how did 1 came, sir?
In L1, 1 will be
Get
1
one.
L1 will be there.
है कि नहीं?
Sir,
Anyone
here
have-
math will also be used.
Sir, can you say
What?
how did 1 came?
Yes, physics, maths is also used. No? That's why I'm teaching you these things, right? In the homeschool, because till class 8, you will not see maths and physics. Okay, right? That's why when students goes to class 9th, na, they feel it difficult, right? How come math is there in physics, right? But do you know this, that like most of the maths that is derived or that was invented is due to physics? Do you know this? In what?
Temperature.
Length, agree? In length, right? Now, can I say, sir, if you talk about area,
Sir, what's the question?
instead of length, if you talk about one sheet, right? One sheet. Okay, right? Anna. So when you talk about sheet, right? There's area, Ayana, right? The total area. Suppose the area is A1 at temperature T1, and suppose the area will be A2 at temperature T2. Will area change? My question is, will area change?
Sir, how will the area of land change, sir, because of temperature?
Think about it, no, right? How many of you have, right, heard that whenever roof is built, right? Whenever a building roof is built, right? There's a small space given, yes or no?
Sir, because of expansion.
right? But obviously when you talk about roof, what is expanding, length or total area?
Sir, I didn't got you, sir. Please repeat again.
Total area will increase, na? Ayana.
Yes, sir.
Sir, can you say why they
Sir,
leave
you are talking
space
about
during
breadth and
making the
length,
roof?
sir. Both will increase. Length and breadth.
Area, right? है ना? So see, this is when you talk about length, this is called as linear expansion. Linear expansion, है ना? Okay, linear expansion, right? Obviously, in the same way, there will be expansion in area and volume, right? ठीक है? So वो उसको अभी पढ़ना नहीं है detail में, but can we use our common sense? Tell me, can we use our common sense? Can you tell me what would be the formula of A2? Common sense होगी. A2 का formula क्या होना चाहिए? बताओ. Anyone?
Area 2.
A2, right? Which is area of temperature 2. E2.
Sir, 2 into L plus B plus 2 into L plus B.
A1, 1 plus. Now here it is alpha, so it should be something else, which is beta. Delta T. Right? Because alpha is for linear expansion. Beta is the same thing, right? Beta is the same thing. Coefficient of expansion for area, right? Now, when you talk about volume क्या के लिए क्या होगा बताओ? Beta again, right? Alpha and beta both are coefficient of expansion. Alpha किसके लिए था? Alpha is coefficient of linear expansion, है ना? Length के लिए. Beta is area के लिए. ठीक है? तो वॉल्यूम के लिए क्या होगा? एनीवन वॉल्यूम के लिए बताओ क्या लगता है? व्हाट डू यू थिंक? व्हाट वुड बी द फॉर्मूला फॉर वॉल्यूम चेंज?
Sir, eta.
नहीं तो टोटल फॉर्मूला क्या होता है? क्या लग रहा है? व्हाट शुड बी द फॉर्मूला यूजिंग द कॉमन सेंस?
1 plus sigma.
प्लस वेरी गुड. दिस इज कॉल्ड एज गामा. गामा पहले गामा आता है, अल्फा बीटा गामा फिर डेल्टा. ठीक है? गामा डेल्टा टी.
गामा वामा सब कुछ समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा सर. वापस सिखाओ ना सर.
Sir, gamma. Sir, gamma is a ray also.
Beta and gamma, all of them are coefficient of expansion.
Sir, one of area, one of volume.
Okay, right?
Sir,
Okay.
one
So
of
see,
length, one of area, one of volume, sir.
yes.
सर ये
So
वाले
this is
पार्ट से पूरा कंफ्यूज हो गया सर. ये वाले पार्ट से
ये बस तुमको लिख लेना है, याद रखना, कभी काम आएगा तो, right? बस जान लेना है कि when you talk about length, right? Area and volume increases, है ना? Right? एरिया के लिए होता है, वॉल्यूम के लिए होता है. इवन इफ यू डोंट,
मतलब वो इस फॉर्मूला में बस फॉर्मूला दिया है ना आपने.
हाँ बस फॉर्मूला दिया है. Okay, right. So that's it. Okay, so when you talk about this chapter heat, है ना? Okay, I can say this was like this is basics, right? Basically we have, right, these topics, okay, in heat transfer. Okay, right? So we are done with this. I will send one small assignment based on this.